2015 is probably one of the best years in video game history. There have been some great sequels, there have been some great indie games, great soundtracks, great horror games, and it was an overall fantastic year that we will remember in the future. I'm Sherlock Helsing from EnjoyTheGaming, and welcome to the second annual Enjoy the Gaming Awards. Let's start this show by looking at some games that came out many years ago but that were remastered this year. This is the best remastered category. The nominees are GTA 5 for PC, Resident Evil HD Remake, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D for the 3DS, Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, Grim Fandango Remastered. And the winner is Resident Evil HD Remake. This is one of the best horror games that has ever come out, and it's one of my personal favorite games of all time, and many players loved it, and this remaster brought improved graphics, improved gameplay, and some new extras that everyone enjoyed really very much. Now let's move to the graphics. Every year video games are improving their graphics, and this year we've had some fantastic looking video games. The nominees for best graphics are Batman Arkham Knight, Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, The Order 1886, Star Wars Battlefront, and Until Dawn. And the winner is Star Wars Battlefront. The game really captures the essence of the original movies. The graphics are uncanny, the explosions are spectacular, the lightsaber effects, the sounds even. It's a very pretty looking game, and probably one of the best looking games of all time, especially on PC. 2015 has also been a fantastic year for horror games. There have been especially some really great indie games, but also a couple of AAA games that surprised everyone. The nominees for best horror game are Lakeview Cabin Collection, Layers of Fear, Soma, Until Dawn, White Knight. And the winner is Layers of Fear. Even though the game is still in early access on Steam, it's already become one of the best horror games of all time, mainly because it uses art, it uses paintings as the main element of horror in the game, and it works perfectly. And the game is constantly being updated, and it will probably come out near the end of next year, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's a game that really reminds us of PT, the playable teaser for Silent Hills, a game that we will never see, thanks Konami. Next up are the best open world games. Those worlds that you can explore, that you can live in, that are full of different things to do, different objectives, side quests, and they are overall really fun games to just explore and take everything in. The nominees for best open world are Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Fallout 4, Just Cause 3, Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, The Witcher 3. And the winner is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This fantastic RPG is probably one of the best open worlds ever in a fantasy setting, because you can explore different cities, there are all these question marks on the map that you can go and explore, there are treasures to find, there are monsters to slay, there are side quests to do, there are fetch quests, there are attacks on different camps, there are a ton of things to do in the world of The Witcher, and you will probably spend more than 100 hours trying to complete the entire game. And plus, with some DLC coming soon, it's going to be a really long experience that you're always going to love. And another thing that everyone loves in video games nowadays is a good story. Stories that give you emotions. Stories that are fantastic. Stories that make you think sometimes. The nominees for best story are The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Life is Strange, Her Story, Undertale, and Soma. And the winner is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The story of The Witcher 3 was just spectacular, especially for those that read the books of The Witcher and that followed the entire story from the first game of 2007. Following Geralt trying to find Ciri was a very simple plot, but in the way you found a lot of different characters with fantastic backstories and some really tough decisions to make. And at first you might think that one decision is pretty good, but after a while you see the consequences, and they're always really bad. And it's a game that lets you think a lot, it's a game with a fantastic story, with really interesting and deep characters, and everyone loved it. And it's pretty damn great. Well, we do love a good story, we also love a good multiplayer. A game to play with friends while you're chatting, while you're talking with each other, while you're making jokes. These are the nominees for Best Multiplayer. The nominees are Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, Killing Floor 2, Rocket League, Rainbow Six Siege, Splatoon. And the winner is Rocket League. I despise football, and many other gamers do, but Rocket League took football and made it actually fun by implementing a simple mechanic, using cards instead of players. The game is really easy to understand, really hard to master, but it's a blast playing it. And it's become one of the biggest phenomena of 2015, especially because it went free on PlayStation Plus. And it's one of those games that if you haven't bought it already, go buy it, especially on Steam or on the consoles, because you will have a lot of fun playing it, and you will spend a lot of hours playing it with your friends or even with random players. Because if there's one thing that we all love, it's just taking a game, playing it for 10-15 minutes and feeling like a badass. And now it's time for something that I really love, music. 2015 had some really fantastic soundtracks, but here are the 5 best soundtracks in my opinion. The nominees are The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, Ori and the Blind Forest, Hotline Miami 2, Undertale, and the winner is Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Now, this might be a little bit weird for some of you guys, but I loved every single track that I found in Metal Gear Solid 5, especially the songs, because they felt like the personal collection of the favorite tracks of the 80s from Hideo Kojima, and I loved listening to them while playing around the open world, and I just loved the entire soundtrack. And every other soundtrack is pretty fantastic, and it was pretty hard to choose which one of those was my favorite, but this is the one that I actually listened to the most, so that's why it won. 2015 was also a year full of surprises. Games that we thought were going to be pretty bad turned out to actually be pretty good. And these are the nominees for Best Surprise: Rocket League, Mad Max, Until Dawn, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Dying Light. And the winner is Until Dawn. I wasn't really sure what to expect from this game, and when it first started, after an hour or so, I was like, yeah, it's a been there, done that situation. But after a while, the game started changing, and it became a pretty spectacular experience with a really interesting story, some really fun characters, some really good decisions to make, and it was an overall pretty good surprise because it had a pretty weird development cycle. It was supposed to come out for the PS3, then it came to PS4. It was a pretty weird situation, but in the end it came out a pretty damn good game. One thing that us players love to do is playing some games as someone else. And no one does it better than the RPG genre, the role-playing games. And this year we've had some of the best role-playing games in the entire history of gaming, in my opinion. The nominees for Best RPG are The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt, Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Pillars of Eternity, Undertale. And the winner for Best RPG is The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. This game is just spectacular under every single aspect. And playing as Geralt of Rivia, making some difficult choices during the story, trying to find Ciri, but also trying to help some poor village man, or the Bloody Baron, or other fantastic characters, just made this game one of the best RPG in a long time, and also exploring the open world, and thanks to the fantastic and deep combat mechanics, and gigantic areas to explore, make this one of the best RPGs of all time, if not the best fantasy RPG ever made. But let's go from something more mainstream to something a little bit more independent. The best indie games. Those games that were made by 1 or 10 persons who spent hours and hours of their time trying to make the best game possible. And these guys succeeded quite a lot. The nominees for best indie game are Westerado Double Barreled, Undertale, Hotline Miami 2, Her Story, Apotheon. And the winner is Undertale. This game has become a phenomenon since it first came out, and it deserves the right to be considered the best indie game of the year. With the simple mechanic, avoiding to kill enemies in battles, makes this a really weird game, a game where choices do matter, a game where killing someone and not killing them changes everything. And it was a pretty emotional experience, and it is one of the best indie games of all time, and one of the best indie games of the year. But sadly, there have also been some pretty big disappointments. Game that we were looking forward to, game that looks spectacular on paper, were actually pretty disappointing, especially based on the developer or on previous installments. The nominees for biggest disappointment are Batman Arkham Knight, The Order 1886, Star Wars Battlefront, Evolve, and Battlefield Hardline. And the sad winner is Batman Arkham Knight. This game was supposed to be fantastic. We all loved Batman Arkham Asylum, and I personally really loved Batman Arkham City. But sadly, Batman Arkham Knight was just a big letdown, especially because there was just too much Batmobile, and the story wasn't even all that interesting to me. And me and many other players were also let down by the horrible PC port that was released. Still, these games aren't bad per se, but they weren't just all that great either. And before we get to the final category, we're gonna take a look at some of the worst games of the year. Games full of performance issues, games that were just not fun to play. The nominees for worst game of the year are Alone in the Dark Illumination, Raven's Cry, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, Godzilla, Afro Samurai 2 Revenge of Kuma. And the winner is Raven's Cry. It was a horrible game, full of technical issues, really not fun to play. You played as a pirate and the story was not fun. The gameplay was broken, trying to fight other ships in naval battles was nearly impossible to do. The sword combat was either extremely easy with some of the enemy AI, and other times it was impossible to actually accomplish. And it was an overall horrible experience that I won't ever try again. And finally, what we've all been waiting for, the best game of the year. The game that will take the trophy of GOTY from EnjoyTheGaming. This is based on my personal favorite games of the year. These are the 10 nominees for Best Game of 2015. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, Until Dawn, Westerado Double Barreled, Her Story, Killing Floor 2, Hotline Miami 2, Wolfenstein The Old Blood, Just Cause 3, and Undertale. And the winner of the Game of the Year award from EnjoyTheGaming is Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. This is the only game of 2015 that I played for over 200 hours. This is the game that I still have to finish, but I still think there is a lot to do. This is the game that gave me a really good story, that gave me the best stealth gameplay of all time, and that gave a great send-off to the fantastic developer who is Hideo Kojima for his franchise Metal Gear. I do think this is the best game that has come out in 2015, at least for me, but close second was The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is a fantastic RPG, and I do think that you should check out each and every one of those games on the list, because some of them are pretty underrated and not a lot of people are talking about them. But still, the Game of the Year award goes to Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. So guys, thank you very much for watching the second annual Enjoy the Gaming Awards. Thank you very much for following me this year, thank you very much for a fantastic 2015, and here's hoping for an even better 2016 for both gaming and for this channel. Tell me in the comments below your favorite games of the year for each genre, tell me if you disagree with me, tell me if you agree with me, but still, thanks very much for watching guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.